I remember being able to walk back into Columbine right after. I really struggled.
Yeah.
And just I kept reliving because I encountered the gunman that day. And fortunately, I got into counseling. It really helped me. But I think, the officers can train. You have classrooms, you have locked doors and things of that nature so they can train in situations that they may encounter down the line. If there's anything I could have done to protect those kids and Mr. Sanders, I mean, that's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. I mean, they walked into our school at 7 o'clock. They never made it home. And that's something, and I can't take that back, but what can I do to carry out their legacy? And there's just not one thing that's going to stop it. And when I talk about this jigsaw puzzle that all of a sudden, people immediately go to gun legislation. Now, that's part of the issue, but that's not the only issue. We need to look at laws, that loopholes in laws. For example, after Columbine, the young lady that purchased the gun for the two killers went to the Tanner Gun Show, and there was no background check, and she was able. Well, that law changed. You got the Brady law. But I also look at a part of that piece of the puzzle is I struggle when schools and communities are taking counselors out of buildings, mental health workers out of buildings. That's also part of it.
We got really good at response with the gold standard. Columbine, I think, forced that into Jefferson County, and John McDonald and the team did an amazing job of becoming the gold standard for response. What we were missing is how do we connect with kids? What does a culture of our schools look like? We want to get to the point where we're understanding and setting a culture of awareness early on with kids and providing them with resources before we get to the response phase. And part of that is training. It's embedding kids in a culture where they feel connected, to where they feel like they belong. And I wouldn't say we were missing that, but I don't think we really truly engaged it. Kids should have a connection in their school outside of going to school every day, whether that's co-curriculars, a kind, caring, trusted adult, activities, clubs, whatever it is. We want to make sure that they know that they're valued and that we have a connection with them so that they don't just run into some of the issues. And I think mental health, behavioral health that we instill in our schools is another component that has created a culture to where kids feel like they can go to school, feel safe, but then also have an outlet and somewhere that they can talk to or something that helps them belong and feel some pride.